Hi Mike, my name is Jenna. After watching your workout session, I just wanted to provide you with some feedback regarding your session and some tips. So, during your workout, you seemed really determined to finish each exercise with everything that you had. However, one thing that I would suggest is to be more aware of the tempo that you complete exercises. So, how fast you're completing the exercise. I think if you were consciously able to pace yourself through the exercise, you'll be more able to complete the full 30 or 45 seconds of the actual exercise. For example, during the push up or the inverted row, you don't want to go too fast so that you burn out in the first 15 seconds. You want to maintain the same intensity that you had, so maybe slowing yourself down so you can continue the exercise throughout. So during your push ups, there was a positive environmental constraint. So as you were completing each rep, your trainer was cheering you on, motivating you to keep on going and to keep putting in all of the effort. So towards the end of that 30 seconds, there's no doubt that the push up gets very challenging as your body is getting tired. So having that external motivation, that constraint, really helps you motivate yourself to keep on going, to keep on doing those reps. And that obviously affects your movement because it keeps your body moving throughout the exercise. Since you weren't completing these exercises alone, there was a whole group of you guys completing the exercises. During the Versa Climber, there was a positive environmental constraint, since I think that the group setting creates a more motivating, competitive environment. So if you hear other people moving their legs faster, if you notice other people going faster than you, this can encourage you to go even faster to meet the tempo they're at, and also you don't want to seem like you can't do the exercises when you're in front of a whole group of people. During the inverted row, you started off with explosive movements. You were completing each rep extremely quickly. However, after the initial 15 seconds, the pace started to slow down, seeing you didn't have enough energy to continue to pull yourself up. So, for this exercise, the personal constraint relates to physical abilities as there was a lack of strength. So, obviously, this affects your movement because if you are unable to perform the reps any longer, you're unable to move, hence, the exercise has stopped. The task constraint that I observed while you were completing the bench press was that you were instructed to keep your hand over your abs. So this would keep your core tight, which in turn would stabilize your body, keeping your body aligned and your hips square to prevent injury and to ensure proper form of the exercise. The positive environmental constraint that I noticed during the bent over row was that you were performing in front of a mirror and you were instructed to watch yourself through that mirror. And this is beneficial to your performance because it provides you with visual feedback that ensures that you are doing the exercise right. So, as you were looking in the mirror, you can make sure that your back is aligned and that you are square with your hips so that you're not bending that could possibly cause injury. One specific change that I would make to the push up would be by imposing a task constraint. So, this would be through the use of a resistance band on your arms. So, since it seemed like you can perform the push up quite seamlessly, adding the resistance bands over your arms creates that extra challenge to activate more muscles to keep your hands from falling in. To counter the forces of the band. So, this also creates variability to keep you more interested and intrigued to complete the exercise and facilitates learning because you need to take in that extra factor of keeping your arms separated. I would impose a task constraint to the inverted row by instructing you to touch the bar with your chest and holding it at the top for around 2 seconds. This implements variability and this next challenge is you have to hold yourself to the top, but it also ensures proper forms to make you lead with your chest and not your hips. And by doing this, it also makes you more aware of your body, which enhances control and coordination. For the Versa Climber, I would instruct you to hold the pegs with your palms facing you as opposed to this grip that you had earlier. By reversing the grip of your hands, it activates and strengthens different muscle groups and it allows you to have your front and back muscles work simultaneously by reversing the grips of your hands. This also creates movement variability and shows you different movement patterns that you can use to. For the chest press, I will be imposing a task constraint, instructing you to do an alternating dumbbell chest press. So instead of doing your right arm and then your left arm, you will do both arms at once, alternating which arm you are pressing into the air. So by implementing this constraint, it improves the endurance as more muscles are working and for a longer period of time, and also improves the coordination as you have to coordinate which arm is going up and down, all while improving and working on the stability of your body to keep that core stable. The task constraint for the bent over row is for you to lie prone, so your chest lying down on the bench. So this modification isolates the muscle groups that you can use to complete the row. So it makes you focus on using your upper back and your arms while reducing unnecessary lower back and hip movements. So this creates movement variability and also changes the allowable range of motion, which will facilitate learning and allow you to build up the strength to eventually complete the bent over row more successfully.